Birthday Hawa, birthday Shai, birthday Hawa, birthday Shai, birthday Hawa, birthday Shai, call Allah wa Hawa, Allahayna, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bashem Kakodash. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kakodash. Just said in the Paleo Hebrew, bless you the Most High, and bless you the Most High, in the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash, in the name of the Holy Spirit. All praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Hashem Ashai, B'Shem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutation to the election, the 144,000, Hanabiyayim, the prophets, Habarashim, the heads of the governing body, that shall Mashal, which is rule by Hamalak within the kingdom, by Shemayim in heaven, Ashar, by Ratzazai, shall be here on earth. And of course, Shalom to the rest of the 100, actually it's like the 1/3, which are no prophets, but are believers of the words of Yahweh Shem Yashai B'Shem HaKadosh, that shall be delivered, saved of the trouble in these times, having that the Wah was the mark of exemption from the judgment that's coming. Shemya Mafa, my name is Mafa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. I am Lamadi Ma'ait, coming with a lesson, little are we lesson. This lesson is another extension to the current news, being the siege of the capital. Okay, in Babylon and United States, you had big protests in which they're claiming that most of these were from a group called QAnon, which is I believe is deemed a conspiracy theory group. Okay, you'll see here U.S. Capitol right here off of Sky News, mainstream media. U.S. Capitol, QAnon, Confederate flag, man, the baked Alaska. Here are the people who stormed the building. You see here, you got this, as it says, a supporter of Donald Trump. Okay, and that whole QAnon movement, they just bring out different, conspiracies, and such. Some stuff, obviously, you gotta discern for yourself and separate the real from the BS, because a lot of it, can be bull or no good. But it is what it is. So I mean, they got all these Edomites though, and this is QAnon shaman. Okay, that's it. This main guy here, his name is Jake Angeli, and he has been a regular at the right-wing political rallies in Arizona, where he's been since 2019. And you check out all these different supporters. I mean, you'll hear on like some of the YouTube channels, they'll talk about Q and where Q says this, and so you could do your own research and such. But these are some of the people, Edomites. I mean, some could be Jake amongst them, but mainly Edomites. All right, some of course can look like Edomites, but are actual Israelites. So. You got, of course, the Proud Boys. They stormed. They was a part of that, too. You can look into that. Richard Big O Barnett. And that's pretty much it. So, I mean, you could do your own research on your own, just bringing out this information. And the main information I want to just bring out is the division amongst Esau, Edom, and these end times, particularly within his actual council and cabinets. You have it, many are distancing themselves from Donald Trump due to as they said that he incited a this insurrection, sedition, protests. Okay. He has spoken himself, claiming or saying that or proclaiming that he's gonna make a peaceful transition, but we'll see what happens. It says this is here not a day longer. Top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer calls for Trump to be removed from office immediately. So, of course, you got the right and left wing. Same bird. Two wings on the same bird. This Roman eagle, but he of course denounced on Wednesday the chaos and saw hundreds of Trump supporters interrupting a joint congressional session by the storming of the Capitol, which that session they was going into and certifying the actual electoral college votes, okay, from the various states, which would make Joe Biden your new president. Okay, he's your president elect. Okay, of course we had the claims of Donald Trump wanting to, or he was protesting or had allegations of different fraud within the voter count, et cetera, but all of that is being that's being put off, and this is what it is. That Joe Biden is your new president of Babylon. That's Yahuwah. Nothing doesn't happen between the time now and his inauguration on I believe that will be coming on the 20th of January. It says here this president must not hold office a day longer. What happened yesterday was an insurrection against the United States incited by Trump. This president must not hold office a day longer. Senate Democrat leader said that the quickest and most efficient way to oust Trump would be through the 25th Amendment. Okay, the amendment allows a vice president to immediately assume office, which that would be your Mike Pence, who is the vice president currently. It says as long as sufficient number of either principal officers, cabinet secretaries, or members of Congress together with him declare in a written form the president is unable to discharge powers of his office. It can be done today. You see that. I know Pelosi, she's been waxing, of course, that. And let me see what else we have. Rudy Giuliani, I believe that's one Trump's lawyer. Condemnation of Capitol's violence slammed as critics cite his trial by combat speech made prior to breach. Violence of the Capitol was shameful. It was criminal. It was as criminal as the rioting and looting in the summer, which was not condemned strongly enough by the left. This violence is condemned in the strongest terms. Our movement value respect for law and order and police. All right, so you can pretty much see this. Violence is rejected, condemned, and counterproductive. It contradicts our values. Okay, and you see, this is the same man, I believe, here. He has a lawyer friend, and you can see that being the same fellow here, if I'm not mistaken, in the image, just with that being, the American flag, war paint, and the Viking, or so-called Viking, I call them just bullhorns on his heat, and whatever, animal skinned and put on this heat. All right, so we can see what's going on. We're not, of course, ignorant of Satan's devices. We know, they want to bring in, different laws, and there's a possibility of martial law being declared. Okay, so I know, of course, the National Guard was deployed in the D.C. Okay. There's also, I believe, 4 people that were dead. Different people were injured during that whole siege. And let's see what else we got. You got, of course, President Trump. He been blocked from his Twitter account for 12 hours, and they threatened him of permanent suspension. So, you know, a lot is going on right now. You know, they also have certain people that step down from their different positions within Trump's cabinet as well. I don't have that information on hand in this video at this time, but you know, Yahweh I'll just leave a link in the description box. I just want to cover this in brief. I'm gonna bring out a couple scriptures and get out of here quickly. All right. This is the first scripture being the main scripture I'm gonna bring. The book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha part of the original King James Bible, 1611, Sirach chapter 13 and 12 and 22 actually. (13 and 22). Which it reads, it says, when a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. Right, and you have, of course, Donald Trump with, you know, all those that, you know, in support, you know, of him within, you know, this whole Capitol siege. You know, they justify him. Okay, they claim and that he's right, you know, and that they're you know, there's a failure that's happened within their whole voting system and fraud, and that, you know, government is democracy. This republic is being failed. Okay, due to, as they claim, a socialist takeover. You know, and as they say, Joe Biden is pro-China, and you know, these American people want their rights. They don't want the New World Order. Okay, but it's still happening. But like it says when a rich man is fallen, which he is fallen. Okay, the king of Babylon right now, Donald Trump, is falling. You have many helpers. Okay, yesterday, you know, I was doing this video, and you can see, you know, the many, you know, protesters in favor of their president, backing their president. You had the Patriot nurse was literally in, like, if you know her page, if you're not familiar, she was like damn near bawling. Like, she looked like she wanted to just freak out, like, over everything. Like, she got definitely spirits on her. You could tell these Edomites. She definitely is an Edomite. She's no Israelite at all. And she speaks about, obviously, a lot of different shit hit the fan type information. Pardon the rude speech. But she definitely knows this nation is falling. And you know, she claims to be a believer, but she's an Edomite, and the Lord is not dealing with her at all. So that's just what it is. Let's go into the rest of the scripture. I just wanted to cover that because she just looked crazy, and a lot of these Edomites are gonna bug out, seeing, you know, the actual reality of what this country is gonna come to. I mean, which is complete desolation, ultimately by nuclear destruction. But beforehand, you're gonna see these different insurrections and protests, and more, chaos and violence. That's what comes with the fall of Babylon the Great. And what happens when you promote wickedness, right? And you forget the power, which is Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the next scripture. All right, let me finish this off. It says, the poor man's, let me see. It says, when a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. The poor man slippeth, and yet they rebuke him. Yeah, they, coming at him, trying to correct him. He spake wisely and could have no place. And I mean, you can just look at us as the poor Israelites, especially the prophets, of the Lord. We speak the truth, and like I said, they don't have no place for us, to speak it. They don't want us out there on the highways and hedges. They don't want us on the internet. Soon it's gonna be all removed. Okay, they claim it all conspiracy theories and claim, of course, it to be hate speech, etc., etc. Okay. Let's now go to another scripture, which is, I'm gonna go to, and it's crazy too. It's like seeing all these people flip out and on Trump, change up. What they thought they were friends of Trump, and then they just change up. Just going to show you this scripture right here. I just like the scripture to speak for itself. It says, in the day of prosperity, this is Sirach 11:25. In the day of prosperity there is forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no remembrance of prosperity. Let me see. Actually, this ain't the scripture I want, I don't think. It's more so pertaining to friends. Okay, like a friend can't be known in prosperity. Let's see if that got that right there somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it, so like, give me a wee moment. Yeah, that's Sirach chapter 12 and verse 8. So Sirach chapter 12 and verse 8. I'll get that scripture right there. Slacky, I give this a bit of a slow start, a bit late. So this is Sirach 12 and 8. It says, a friend cannot be known in prosperity. Okay, so when you're prospering, you don't really truly know who your friend, because friends can, their whole spirit, can be clearly dubious because of the prosperity that you have. Many people come around you just because you have wealth and riches and such substance. Okay. That's why when you see many of these different celebrities and different rap musicians and rock stars and such, when they lose everything, they tend to lose all their friends and such, and they end up speaking bad about them. All right, So now they're poor, right? It says a friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity, right? And right now, this nation is under adversity. So, in his own self, which is a house divided, Esau, Edom, the wicked are a house divided. So, of course, within themselves, it's being revealed, that they are actual enemies of one another. Okay, Egyptian against Egyptian. It says, in prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. Right. You ever wonder how when you're doing really good, I'm gonna look into this term for grieve just to get a better definition, break it down a bit better. You have it grieved, which is just distress, pain, upset. Okay. They upset. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Right. And I already explained that. So you just have to take good heed of these words of wisdom. E himself, he would do good if he knew this stuff, but he is the wicked and he hateth instruction. All right, and this is given unto the children of Israel, firstly, chiefly of the elect, to know and put in practice. Okay, and execute. The other scriptures I'm gonna bring out is in Obadiah. We'll go that and bring that up in the blue letter, and then we can pretty much close out. A lot of wicked spirits is out. I literally had burned a little bit of a Palo Santo stick, but I didn't. It was only a little bit of smoke, I'm telling you. And I didn't open the window, and it's just like a while went by, and then all of a sudden this fire alarm goes off. I'm like, what the hell? And then you had E, coming around snooping a bit around and stuff, and I had to end up telling the guy, it's like a little stick instance, false alarm. But it just go to show you, like, usually, like, I know a brother had mentioned that, usually when you like cleanse a house, exercise it and stuff, you hear, sound or something like that, usually, or something outside or something like that, usually tells you that it's the house been successfully exercised and stuff. But yeah, that's just crazy. I was just like surprised. So Slakia, because when I went to start the lesson, the alarm went off. So it's just Satan, just trying to hinder the word and trying to upset, Jacob here and stuff, just trying to, get, more in the spirit so he can, deliver this word to you, hopeful elect out there, men and women, okay, specifically you men, okay, most importantly, because this word is for you, the flock of the Lord's pasture of men, okay, you're the leaders, okay. So, it's important us as prophets, we have to give you this word, feeding the flock. So, again, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. And, it's just only one chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 3. Or actually, verse 1 and 2. Or verse 2, Slakio. Chapter 1, verse 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, amongst the rest of the nation. Thou art greatly despised. And also, if you look at world leaders react to the U.S. Capitol, you got guys like Boris Johnson. World leaders condemn horrifying riot. That's on CNN, which a lot of their equipment was destroyed during that riot. Camera equipment was nearly set on fire, put in a pile. But it says world leaders condemn horrifying riot at the U.S. Capitol building. Disgraceful. World leaders react to pro-Trump extremists storming the Capitol. Let me just go and check this. You can see many of the different Italian clippings here. Italian Prime Minister says, let's say Giuseppe Conte said that violence is incompatible with exercise of democratic rights and freedoms. He added, like many leaders, he believes the U.S. government institutions are robust enough to withstand the assault. Yeah, so, they all got trust within this whole system, this democratic system, just going to show you how wicked the philosophy of E is. They all don't care about the democratic setup, but that's all going to fall very soon, okay? NATO Secretary, General Jen Stoltenberg wrote, the outcome of this Democratic election must be respected. Right, so they all speaking out against Trump because Trump, he brought out them different allegations. Irish lawmaker Ben Den Howland referred to events as the inevitable final phase of Trumpism. Okay, which is just that comes into just chaos. Israeli opposition leader, okay, Yair Lapid tweeted he was deeply saddened and shocked by the events. He hoped to see order restored and transition to power completed. Right, so we'll see how this whole transition to power, being Trump stepping down and giving it on to Biden and Harris. Let's go back to this Obadiah. And it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. You Caucasians, right? Who habitation is high, has said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And within E, his own body, his kinsman, he's a man talking about making America great. And that has terribly failed, okay? To the point this man couldn't even get another 4 years term, okay? But this man was, so-called backed by all these, so-called Americans, just going showing you that, this is all set up anyway, okay? Your elected officials are chosen and selected, okay, by your elite, okay? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou thy set thy nest among the stars, I will bring thee down, said the Lord Yahweh. Alright, so that's heavy right there. So that's pretty much the lesson. Call all you like y'all by Shem Shai B'Shem Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the elect. Of course, stay in the know with all that's going about within the news. Things are changing very quickly. They talk about those that have committed these offenses to the Capitol are domestic terrorism. We'll see how that plays out. They said they're placed on the FBI no-fly list. I'm seeing here. I know a fence was put up outside of the, I believe the White House and such. So we'll see what ensues from this. But as the scriptures talk about terrorists, it's going to be on every side. So they said they're going to be charged with sedition and insurrection. All options on the table. All right, so shalom.